everybody, welcome to the show. Hi everybody, welcome back to our channel. My name is Amanda. I am a teacher-turned-homeschool mom. Here on Raising A to Z, typically we talk about a lot of things homeschooling, pretty much everything homeschooling. But if you followed along on any of our social media or even watched any number of our videos, you will know that I am a little bit of a planner and I'm very good at planning and I'm very good at staying organized and I'm very good at budgeting. And so I've actually gotten some questions recently that are not necessarily homeschool related, but they're kind of connected. And it's all about how do I plan for Christmas? How do I get a budget for Christmas? How do I make Christmas this magical, exciting experience on a budget? And how do I include homeschooling in that? Like, how do you homeschool, have a Christmas, stay on budget, stay organized? How do you do that all? And the answer is, it's quite easy. I got basically 4 steps to kind of staying on top of things for the holiday season. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, is my 4 steps to staying on top of the holidays, making them magical and exciting and educational, and keeping it all on budget. So that's what we're going to do today. But before we get into that, why don't you guys go down and subscribe and click the bell so you get notifications so you can see other awesome videos like this. And if you're looking for a great gift for a homeschool parent or even some of your kids, you might want to go down into our shop and check out some of the amazing products that we have. We have everything from homeschool planners and how to start homeschooling to some pretty cool science journals that are going to be right down there as well. So definitely want to check those things out. How do I plan for Christmas? So basically I've got 4 things that I like to do to keep myself organized and on budget and keep my sanity, because Christmas can be very stressful. First off, before we even get into steps, let's acknowledge Christmas can be stressful. Christmas can be overwhelming. And when you are the stay-at-home parent, which I know many of you are, or the one that's home the most, and you are in charge of just everything from the cooking and the cleaning and the homeschooling, but now you're adding in a lot of like gift shopping, keep making things magical and festive, probably a lot of the decorating. If you are that parent, it is very easy to get overwhelmed with Christmas. So that is why I'm making this video now. Several weeks before Christmas, we're gonna take some time, we're gonna take some deep breaths. We're gonna get our cup of coffee or tea or whatever you like to drink, and we're gonna make a plan. So that is step 1. We are going to make a plan. So my planning involves making lists. I'm going to tell you what lists I make because I think we need to make lists so that we know what we're actually going to do. And sometimes these are great lists to involve your kids and your family in. Sometimes it's just something you need to sit down and figure out what you're going to do. The first list I like to make is a list of people who I need to buy gifts for or need to make gifts for or whatever. Like, I need to have a list of people who are going to be gift recipients. So I want to include everybody on this list that I need to have a gift for, whether that is all the kids. So not only our kids, but we also have like nieces and nephews who are going to need a gift. We do Kris Kringle on with both sides of our family. So I need to get that figured out. Are we doing Kris Kringle? Who is my Kris Kringle going to be? Who are we buying gifts for? I'm also going to include anybody else outside of our family who need gifts. So for example, Stefan, his colleagues at work, he often does, because he works at an arts high school. And so he has like his department, he often gets them gifts or something small. We've done like jars of jam or something like that we've made. That is something that we need to include, right? I also am going to like include different coaches or teachers that our kids see on a regular basis. They're going to get a gift. So by kind of sitting down, making a list of who in our lives we would like to give a gift to, very important. I think that is just like, because then you know how many people, you know what your budget is. Like, it's easier to figure out what your budget's going to be when you know exactly how many people you need to give a gift to. So basically working back from that, have a budget. Like, let's make a really good budget. Let's have a budget that we are comfortable with. When we do our budget, typically we put a little bit of money aside all year round. So every paycheck, a little bit of money goes aside to a different account that is actually Christmas. And we kind of determine this amount based off of how many family members we have. And so, like, for example, we typically do about $20 to $25 per child in the family. That is not our own kids, but like nieces and nephews. So we have that amount. It's usually about $50 per Kris Kringle or whatever it is. And we have that amount. So we figured it out roughly how much it is, gave it a little extra, and boom, that becomes our Christmas budget. So we put it aside all year round. And I find that works really well for us. And then that's what we're gonna work off of. Like that's it, that's all there is. And so just having a budget and knowing what we're gonna do really helps us out financially, because then we know what we're gonna spend. So like I said, have a list, make a budget. Another list that I like to have right now is the perfect time. I'm gonna go through the kids' stuff and I'm going to make a list of what their sizes are, their shoe sizes are, what kind of clothing they might need, what their interests are, favorite book series, like anything like that. And I'm gonna have like a little list. Usually like Alexi is a size 7, 6'7". She wears size 12 shoes. She's really into science and building things. Boom. So now when I have family members who are coming to us and saying, what are the kids interested in? I already know. So I said, here are things that you need to know. Alexi needs pajamas. Can you get her pajamas? That would be great. Here's her sizes. So I find it actually helps because right around this time I have a lot of family members, cousins and grandparents and stuff asking, okay, what do the kids actually need? Knowing what they actually need and doing it a little bit early actually means they're gonna get stuff that is A, in their size and doesn't have to be returned, and B, stuff that they actually are gonna wear and need because it's what they actually need, right? So that's a big thing I always do, and it really helps out when, like I said, my sister-in-law comes to me and is like, I don't know what to get the kids for Christmas, what do they need? Boom, I have a list. And then it kind of is great going forward. Then I also know what they need so that anything that hasn't really been asked, I can fill in the blanks for Christmas. Now that you have a list of all the gift recipients, I like to fill in what I'm actually going to get them or an idea of what I'm going to get them. So for example, a lot of our nieces and nephews this year are getting these really cute animal pajamas. I found them on sale right around Halloween, and that's what they're getting. I've already got a list, or I have an idea of what they like or what I'm wanting to do or get them. So I actually kind of write down what my idea is for them. So then I have a list, and when I go to the store or I'm ordering on Amazon or whatever, it's much easier to order that way. So again, just making a plan. Another list that I like to do is, this is one you can get the kids involved with, figure out what recipes you actually want to do for the holidays. I know for us, like we do a lot of baking. Obviously we do tea time every week. And so having Christmas cookies and Christmas recipes, that's a big thing around the holidays. Everyone has their own Christmas recipes, but it's very easy to do like way too many and feel overwhelmed. And so typically I pick 4 recipes. And so we get down with the kids and we say, what one cookie recipe do you want for Christmas this year? What is the one thing that you want? And so they get to pick what they want. And those are the 4 cookie recipes that we're gonna do. I'm not doing anything else, it's just those 4. So that makes it a lot less stressful on me because I'm not trying to like, oh, I was gonna do this, because if you left up to me, I would do like every Christmas cookie recipe I could ever think of. It's just not feasible. It's just not doable to do as many as we think of. And especially, for example, Stefan's favorite Christmas cookie recipe just happened to be a cookie that I made at Christmas time. It's not actually a festive cookie recipe, but it is his favorite cookie. He likes these peanut butter cookies that I dip in dark chocolate and sprinkle a little sea salt on them. That's what he wants at Christmas time. That's his favorite cookie. You can't convince him otherwise. So that will probably be a Christmas cookie that we make during the holidays. I would not, personally, if I was making a list, that would not be on my list. I would make that some other time, but that's something that he absolutely loves. And so that's why we get everybody involved. So we make those cookies. Zoe is probably going to pick confetti cookies that she found online. I don't know how the kid finds recipes, but she is really, really good at it for a 4-year-old. Every recipe she's ever picked has been like, wow. So she loves these confetti cookies. I'll probably make a batch of confetti cookies. Lexi, I'm not really sure. We'll figure out what she wants, and I'll probably make some gingerbread. So right there, those are going to be our 4 recipes that we're going to do baking wise, and that's it. I'm not going to have tons of it because we're going to eat it all, and it's a lot of sugar. But also, like, I don't need to sit here and make 45 different kinds of cookies every year, right? Let's stick to what everyone's favorite is, and let's just do that. Like, we don't have to do everything. Other things that I like to do is, like, I really like to do sweet potato casserole at like the big dinners. So that's something that, like, I know that's kind of my go-to sweet potato casserole recipe. Boom, like that's what I'm doing. I feel like a lot of times people get excited. They're like, oh, we're gonna try new things around Christmas. You know what? Save yourself some effort. If you have something that you love, that you find easy to make, that it turns out great every time, stick with it. Make your life easier and just live with your favorites. You know, that's one of my things. So number 2, let's talk about gifts. First off, let's remember Christmas is not about presents. I know that sounds counterintuitive considering I just told you all the lists that I make about presents, but like Christmas is not about presents. So like, first off, remembering that. And remembering that we're wanting to spend a lot of time focusing and being very intentional on spending time with our kids and our family and friends and the holidays and celebrating your faith, if that's important to you as well. Those are important things to do. That's the emphasis. But the gifts are a lot of fun. And for most people, they're a fairly central part of the Christmas season. So let's talk about gifts. So like I said, we already have lists of gifts of what everyone's going to get, or at least an idea of what everyone's going to get. But there are some ways to like A, make it a little more budget friendly, and B, make it a little more magical. So I am a big believer in starting early. Yes, it is early November, but I have already purchased a lot of Christmas presents already. I get a lot of stuff during my back to school sales. I get a lot of stuff, like I said, before Halloween or just after Halloween, like if the kids are into dress up or costumes or anything like that, those are great. So having been a budget shopper for a very long time and someone who like watches sales, I make like wish lists on Amazon and check them regularly to see if the price drops, stuff like that. Having done this for several years, I can safely say that really the best sales you're gonna get are actually going to be before Black Friday. Between like Canadian Thanksgiving and Black Friday is when you're gonna get the best sales. Black Friday, you're gonna get some really good electronic sales. Small shop Saturday, you'll probably get some really good things from small shops, maybe a little bit of electronics on Cyber Monday. But basically after that, the prices aren't going to be much lower, especially on kids stuff, on toys, kids clothing, like all that. I have not found the prices to be lower. And that's coming from someone who, like I said, I watch prices pretty consistently. Toy prices don't really get lower in Christmas. They might say they go on sale, but it's not their lowest price. For example, a couple years ago, I bought the Fisher-Price barn. And I've actually bought a couple Fisher-Price barns in my life because they're very popular toys and pretty much every kid likes them. And so I had these barns. They went on sale early November for like $15 or $20 off. And I grabbed them then, knowing that they're probably not going to go on such a good sale until the next year around that time. Like they were not going to drop before Christmas. And after Black Friday, I checked the prices on those things just to see, you know, because I like to watch. And the price on that thing never went down lower than 10% off. So, which was only about $5, $3 to $5. So really, like if you're looking for especially big ticket items, start now, check Amazon, check different retailers, and start early. I also like to be very practical with our gifts. So if you ever see our kids' stockings, you would be surprised that there's no toys in their stockings. There's nothing in their stockings that's like toys. Actually, if you look at most of what they get for Christmas, it's not toys. It's things that they are going to need in the next 6 months. So we do a lot of toiletries, which they get so excited about a toothbrush. I wish I could get them that excited about a toothbrush on a regular day, but giving them a new toothbrush at Christmas, whoo, most exciting thing in the world. We also give, like I said, lots of toiletries. I'll put in like regular snacks that they love. Granola bars, packs of nuts, like whatever is their favorite snack that I probably would have bought anyway, goes in their stocking. Hair ties. We also give our kids a lot of clothing at Christmas, and it's often things that they are going to need. So, you know, they're both getting sweaters this year, kind of cardigan sweaters because they don't have any. And they need something to stay warm because they refuse to wear seasonally appropriate clothing in the house. So they're always in t-shirts. So I got them some cardigans to go with it. Like those are kinds of things that we like to do. We like to be very practical with the gifts, and we try to keep the toys and the wants to a minimum. So mostly things that they need. It does help us because then I can kind of blend some budgets together. So I can blend a little bit of like clothing budget into my Christmas budget. I can also blend a little bit of homeschooling budget into my Christmas budget. So for homeschooling, it's a great time to kind of look ahead at your plans and stock up on a couple things that the kids are going to need for what's coming ahead. So for example, great time to buy some novel study books put those in the Christmas stockings. We also, I will look ahead and grab some things that I know that we're gonna need. So for example, we are gonna be doing an oceans unit. I picked up a bag of tiny little plastic characters, little plastic animal toys of all ocean animals. Zoe loves ocean animals. She loves oceans and she loves animals, but she also loves little plastic figurines. It's a great gift that she can get and she's going to absolutely love. It's also a great time to kind of maybe splurge on a piece of homeschooling equipment that you are going to want to use that maybe is outside of your regular homeschooling budget, because you can, like I said, combine Christmas and homeschool budget to make something kind of maybe put a little extra money. So this is a great time for something like a microscope or a telescope or an Osmo. If you have young kids, Osmos are amazing. Or some kind of technology that you guys can use in your homeschool classrooms. Again, a great time to do that is now. And again, looking ahead. You don't want to get anything that's too young for your kids either. So for example, if you're looking at a microscope and your kids are like my kids' ages 4 to 6, I'm not going to get a microscope that says 6 and up. I'm probably going to get a microscope that says 8 and up, so that we can grow into it a little bit longer. Just a tip, just an idea. But yeah, definitely blend some of your homeschool budget with your Christmas budget and make purchases that are going to help you in your homeschooling for the next 6 to 8 months. Number 3, let's talk about traditions. It's my favorite thing about Christmas is the traditions. I love all the Christmas traditions. So first thing, when it comes to traditions, there are so many to choose from. If you don't have any traditions for your family, definitely take some time to think about what you want your family traditions to be. I like to focus on things that are simple and that are easily repeated. That's basically, for me, what makes a tradition. So for example, one of my kids' absolute hands down favorites is a picnic under the Christmas tree. I will do that every single year from now until we have grandkids, and then I'll do it with my grandkids, because it is literally the easiest thing in the entire world. We are going to make a tray of cheese and crackers and pickles and crudité vegetables, baby carrots and pieces of cucumber, whatever. And we're gonna put it down a blanket. We're gonna sit around our Christmas tree and we are gonna eat dinner like that. It is one of the easiest dinners I ever make the entire year. And because it's on the floor on a blanket, it is the most special dinner that we probably make in our home in an entire year. It's simple, it's easily repeated every year, and they think it is the greatest thing. Literally, they have already asked me, when are we gonna do that? It is early November, we don't even have a tree up yet. And they have already asked me, when can we have our picnic underneath the Christmas tree? We don't have a tree, but when can we have a dinner under the Christmas tree? Simple and something you can repeat every year. That's all you need to worry about when it comes to traditions. Earlier when we talked about making a plan, now's a great time to make plans for what your traditions are gonna be. Prioritize. What are things that are you must do, because it is something that must get done before December 24th? What are things that are it'd be nice, but if you don't do it, it's not a big deal? And then also look ahead at what events are going to be happening in your schedule as well. For example, my dad is really big into doing gingerbread houses. He likes to do them and decorate them, and we usually do a gingerbread decorating party with all the cousins at my parents' place. That's a big holiday tradition for us. That is something that I'm definitely going to prioritize because A, it means so much to my parents. B, everyone loves it. C, it's a big family event. There's so many things about that are so important to us that is going to be a priority for us. Hands down, that's something we're going to do. There are other things that, we will adjust or let slide depending on what else is going on. For example, right now we aren't going to as many concerts because there aren't that many concerts going around because of the pandemic and all that, right? So those are things that we let slide. And in regular years, it's also we pick and choose which ones we're going to go to because his family, Stefan's family, is very musical and very involved in concerts and stuff. And so if I went to every single concert that came up and that we were invited to, also he works at an art school, so there's a lot of concerts that go on. We would probably go to 15 concerts between December 1st and December 24th. So we prioritize. We might pick only 1 or 2 concerts and that's all we do. So definitely make a priority, make a plan as to what you want your traditions to be. And if you can't, start plopping them into a calendar. I definitely will start doing that probably in the next day or so. Actually, I might do that after I film this video. And then, like I said, we have things that we do every year. Our top traditions, we like to do 24 books under the tree. That's always a fun one. We also do an activity advent calendar. If you want to watch the videos, there's links here for both of those. There's also links down below. And if you want to do the activity advent calendar, there's actually a free printable where it has 40 different activities that you can do. Download it, print it off, and it has the little activities, and you can just pop them into your advent calendar or draw one a day, whatever you want to do. Just makes your life a little bit easier. But we do certain things that we do every year, and it changes and evolves. So our kids are really excited. They want to do the activity advent calendar, and they want to do the books under the tree. So those are things I do have to prep before December 1st. So that's, again, why we like to start doing a little bit of planning a little bit earlier. Because if I have to wrap 24 books, like the day before the December 1st, that would be a lot. That'd be a little stressful for me, I think. I love wrapping, but that would be a little bit much. So yes, definitely starting a little bit earlier, making a plan of what you really want to do and what's important for your family, definitely something I recommend. And then number 4, which I'm sure most of you guys were here for, is like homeschooling during the holidays. How do I prepare for homeschooling during the holidays? So basically, when it comes to homeschooling, there are a couple of ways we can approach it. So we've already talked about homeschooling, using your homeschool budget and your Christmas budget to make some bigger homeschool purchases, using your unit studies or your novel studies as gifts for your kids. But there's other things that we can definitely talk about that help homeschoolers make December educational and make beneficial for them. Popular ideas for December nativity studies are really popular, especially among religious homeschoolers. You'll also see a lot of like carol studies are also very popular with religious homeschoolers, but also for people who are not religious and looking for something more secular, you can definitely look at something like studying Charles Dickens, A Christmas Carol. There are some great versions of it out there, even for younger kids. Another great option that a lot of people do is they do Christmas around the world, and every year they pick 2 or 3 countries and they kind of study how they do Christmas. It's a great social studies, geography kind of activity, looking at cultures and how they do Christmas, how they celebrate. It's fantastic. If that is you, great. Some people, that's how they run. They like to have the structure for a few more weeks. That's not how I run. I love Christmas, and I'm kind of Christmas obsessed. December is a busy month for us. I like to do all the Christmas things. I like to go to all the Christmas concerts and go see Santa and do all the fun Christmas advent calendars and the books under the Christmas tree. And I like to do all those things. And all those things take time. And then we also add in like family engagements and, things that we have to do with our families, traditions that take time, like the gingerbread houses. Like those are things that we love to do, but it's usually a full afternoon. Yeah, we just have a really busy December. It just ends up being a lot. And so by the time we add in, reading extra Christmas books every day and doing our Christmas activity and going to visit friends and family and doing the extra Christmassy activities like visiting Santa or going to Christmas concerts, our schedule gets pretty full pretty fast. And so we don't do homeschooling in December. I have a whole video about that. I'll put the link up here. But yeah, we don't do homeschooling in December. And it's a great idea if you are finding December to be overwhelming. Like I said at the beginning of this video, as the parent who is predominantly in charge of a lot of the Christmas prep, I do like 90% of the Christmas shopping. I do most of the Christmas baking. I do probably 80% of the Christmas decorating. Hey, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but I do a lot of it. And so for my own sanity and the sanity of my kids and of my husband and of our whole family, it makes sense for us to take a little bit of a break and not do workbooks during this time, not do extra learning, not do extra things that I'm going to have to prep lessons for or look into or research before we teach lessons on. It just helps us have a little bit more of a break. And so if that's stressing you out, I want to remind you that our kids are still learning even though they have the whole month off of school. Let me explain. So like I said, we do the 24 books of Christmas under the tree. That's 24 books that we read with our kids. There's a book every single day. Reading Christmas stories is reading. We bake cookies with our kids. Baking, that is science and it's math. We do that. When you're decorating your cookies, it's art. When your kids are writing letters to Santa, that is literacy. That is language arts. You can do sentences and you can do spelling and punctuation and grammar. That is letter writing, like that is language arts. When we go Christmas shopping with our kids, that's budgeting, that's math. It's learning about money and stuff. So our kids are learning a lot, even though we're not doing workbooks. We still do a lot of like educational things and a lot of life skill things that happen during the holidays. And that's really cool. It also, when you kind of shift your thinking in that sense, it gives you a little bit more freedom to like take a break. We also do a lot of comparisons of like stories that our kids read from like how Santa is depicted in this story versus that story, or how this story of reindeers is different from that story of reindeers, or you know, how this book is all told in poem, and looking like you can do so much without making it an official lesson. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of the approach that we take. We take all of December off. We just focus on Christmas traditions and that works well for us. I could see in the future when our kids are a little bit older and they get through things a little bit quicker or need some more things to fill their day. I don't know. But as they get older, you know, I could see us doing something like a Christmas Carol novel study. I can also see us doing something like around the world's Christmas around the world's unit study. That could be really cool when they're a little bit older. But where we're at right now, we just take a month off and everybody's happy. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't change things up every year. This year I have a new novel that we're definitely going to read a little bit of every day as well. And it is a Christmas novel, and we're going to enjoy that, and that's going to be something new, and I think the kids are going to really have fun with that. So yeah, change things up, but we still keep an educational aspect to our day, but we don't have the same structure that we normally do when it comes to getting workbooks done. So that's how we handle Christmas in our household. And if you need some help with that, or you're feeling inspired to ditch the books for December, do it. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you guys found this helpful. I hope that you guys enjoyed the budgeting and planning and homeschool education incorporation into your Christmas plans. And I hope that you guys really embrace what Christmas can be and the joy that comes with the Christmas season. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys like this video, again, subscribe and click the bell. And don't forget to follow us on our social media, which is Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. And we'll see you guys next time.